What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here. This is Hurricane Estelle. If we take a look at the satellite imagery, you can see that this hurricane has kind of leveled off in intensity. It did strengthen up to 85 miles per hour, but now it has kind of leveled off. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the visible shortwave right here just to see what's going on. I do know there is some dry air in a little bit of the system. However, I don't think that's what's hindering its intensity, because the core is still unaffected. The core is still going strong right here, so we're still going to have to pay attention. I think it's just leveling off for a little bit, and depending on what happens in the next few hours will depend on how strong this gets. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the public advisory. Winds are now at 85 miles per hour. This is a small system, by the way. Hurricane force winds only extend out 10 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend out 70 miles from the center. It seems like in Estelle, there's like a pinhole eye with this thing right here, because you can't really see it in this kind of satellite right here, right? Because it's under some clouds, and because the radius of the winds are so small, it's leading me to think that a pinhole eye is formed under this cloud top. But we'll have to wait and see as time goes on. As tropical storm force winds only extend 70 miles from the center, the pressure's at 984 millibars. It was at 988 last time. Now it's at 984. Excuse me. So we're still going to have to pay attention to it. If we take a look at the cone, it is still expected to strengthen. It's expected to reach Category 3 major hurricane status by Monday. So, judging by what's going on with this, basically how this thing is going to strengthen, it'll be decide what happens in the next few hours. Because if we take a look at the wind shear, if we take a look at the global sea temperatures, the wind shear's good enough for this thing to continue strengthening. The warm waters, like, there's plenty of warm water. We're looking at 28, 29 degrees Celsius, or about 83, 84, and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, respectively. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track models and the intensity models. The track models, there are some models that are having it deviate a little bit, like the HMON, the AVNI, and these two right here, having it moving a little more towards the north as time goes on, and the HWRF is having this moving further to the south. So there is some disagreement with the models after 2 days. So we're going to have to pay attention to the next few model runs to see what happens. The intensity models are also quite interesting. We now have a model that has it going up to Category 4 status, which I'm going to say this right now. I think Category 4 status is a bit far-fetched. I think it could absolutely get up to Category 3 status, but Category 4 is a bit far-fetched unless this thing just explosively intensifies like Darby did last week. And we have models getting us up to Cat 3, majority at Cat 2 or high-end Cat 1. My estimate remains at between 100 and 125 miles per hour for the time being until I see other things. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to some of the model runs. Let's start with the HMON, and we're going to go over these really quickly. The HMON model run is pretty interesting. It kind of stagnates and slowly starts weakening after reaching high-end Cat 1 status before strengthening again like one last time. Probably it's either at Cat 1 status or just or at low-end Category 2 before weakening and eventually dissipating as time goes on. Now let's go ahead and get to the GFS model right here. The GFS is also an interesting run. It continues to develop. It actually ends up bottoming out around 966 millibars right here, as likely a high-end Category 2 or low-end Category 3 hurricane before stagnating and slowly weakening, and then eventually dissipating in the next week or so. Now the HWRF is usually the most aggressive model. It's actually been the GFS that's been the most aggressive, because the HWRF has this thing stagnating and kind of starting to re-strengthen a little bit, but nothing above high-end Category 1 status for the HWRF as it starts slowly weakening as time continues to progress. So that's essentially the model runs we have so far. I'll continue to update you guys as the situation progresses. But with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out and helps me make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather and inform them about weather hazards like these. There's still nothing going on out in the Atlantic, but I will leave a link to Michael Ramelli's channel so he can keep you guys informed. But with that being said, have a wonderful day. Stay safe.